I worry. I mean, look, if this is the only pebble that gets thrown at Donald Trump, it's a very small pebble. If it's the first pebble in an avalanche of other indictments that strike more to the heart of, I think, people's core concern about Donald Trump, which is his threat to democracy. So if this is the first pebble, the next one is about the election interference in Georgia. The next one is about the coup, the insurrection, January 6th. The next one's about him hoarding these documents and why. Then it begins to fit. But if this is the only pebble, it's not much of a pebble, and I do think the backlash against this pebble might cow other people who might otherwise have been courageous enough to step forward.
Is it what you thought it was going to be, and are you unimpressed?
It is what I thought it was going to be in terms of focusing on the payments that were made, the falsification of the records, and really tied to the payment that was made to Stormy Daniels. In terms of a case that's being brought against a former president, it's a little underwhelming. There's not more to it. There's not more violations, tax violations. There's not an incredible new set of facts that we didn't know about publicly. It's really the facts of this case as they have existed for basically almost 7 years.
Neil, if the judge does his job right here, the case should be dismissed, and it actually should be dismissed quickly. I agree with what my friends have said, but I think this is actually worse than what we anticipated, because what we anticipated was that they were trying to bootstrap a misdemeanor, which, by the way, they'd have a good deal of difficulty proving if it was just the misdemeanor. But they need to show that he concealed another crime in supposedly falsifying the business records. And what we've thought up until now is that he was going to use that as an avenue to enforce federal campaign finance law. Now, maybe that's what he's planning to do, but he's got to tell us what he's planning to do, and more importantly, he's got to tell Donald Trump. So I think this indictment, even before you get to the statute of limitations and whether he's got jurisdiction to enforce federal law, I would dismiss it on its face because it fails to state a crime. Here, it fails to state a crime 34 times.
Carmine Sabia here for Explain America, folks. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. There you have it from the legal experts. You're talking about a case that is well past the statute of limitations, whether you go by the misdemeanor or the felony. The felony, which it looks like DA Alvin Bragg can't name. And legal experts are shaking their heads at it this morning, and yet on last night, saying, well, where's the actual crime? Where's the underlying crime that you've charged him with hiding a crime? You know, he's doing all this in furtherance of hiding a crime, but you never mention what the other crime is, and your only excuse for it, Alvin Bragg, is New York state law doesn't require you to mention what the other crime is. So you're not actually giving people the meat of, well, he was trying to hide another crime. What's the other crime? I'm not telling. What kind of case is that? This is a nothing case, and I believe our last expert is correct. If this judge is worth his salt, this case gets dismissed. This is an absolute ridiculous case and a travesty of justice. This is absolutely, by any stretch of imagination, you would have to be delusional to not think this is political. Folks, it is a sad day in America, but not just because the former president got indicted. It's a sad day because not only was the former president indicted, but in my opinion, the entire justice system was indicted and is now on trial. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.